Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Regis Fashion World. In today's video, I'll be teaching you how to make this perfect fitted bustier that can stand on its own. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notification bell so that you won't miss any of my video. And to my returning subscribers, thank you so much for your continuous support. So let's get started. So the first thing I am doing here is to mark out 0.5 from the edge of the paper to create my border line. Then on the border line, I will start imputing my vertical measurement, which are shoulder to chest line, shoulder to bust, and shoulder to underbreast, shoulder to waist, and shoulder to my hip line, also called the top line. Okay, so shoulder to chest line is 9 inches, shoulder to bust is 11.5, shoulder to under bust is 15 inches, shoulder to waist is 19 inches, shoulder to top line or top length is 24 inches. Okay, and I will mark the lines in several places like this and connect with my straight ruler. So how to get your shoulder to chest line? You divide your bust by 6 plus 1.5. Okay, divide your bust by 6 plus 1.5. My bust is 40 divided by 6 plus 1.5. That is 8. So I added 1 inch for my shoulder slant, making it 9, so that by the time I will take out my shoulder slant, which is 1 inch. I will have 8. That 8 will be my round armhole. Okay, so make sure you add your 1 inch so that you will not have a shortage at the end of everything. Okay, I've been using this method and it's very good. All right, I've connected the line, leveling it. This one is under bust, my bust point and chest line. So after marking it, the next step is to get my shoulder divided by 2. And I folded this paper into 2. The reason I want to use the front and trace out the back. So my shoulder divided by 2 is 8.5. Shoulder is 17 rather, divided by 2, 8.5. Then I also went ahead to mark my neck width, which is 3. Neck depth for front is 3 by 3. Then for back is 1. Remember, I'm using this pattern to cut out back, to draft my back. I will just trace it out. So I will also measure down my shoulder divided by 2 on the chest line to get a straight line. So I'm taking out my 1 inch shoulder slant, then I will connect it back to my neck width, to the 3 inches neck width. Then I will connect the back neckline like this. Then the next one is my front neck line. Remember, I used 3 by 3 for the front neckline. Okay, so the next step now is to divide whatever thing I have there and go inward by 0.5. This is for our armhole curve, for the front armhole curve. So before I curve it out, I would like to take my bust divided by 4. I will take it on the chest line and also on the bust line. Bust is 40 divided by 4, that's 10. So I'll connect it this way and then bring my curve ruler and curve out the armhole. You already know how to do this thing now, so it's not a new thing to you, except if you are a beginner. Even if you are a beginner, if you pay close attention, you'll be able to make it. Okay, So the next step now is to take my nipple to nipple line. My nipple to nipple is 8 inches divided by 2, that's 4. So I'm marking out 4 from the center front. So I'll mark it on the bust line, under bust, waist, and the length of the top, and connect with my straight ruler like this. Okay, so this is my nipple to nipple line. So on the bust line, on the under bust rather, I will mark out my darts, which I'm using 1 inch, 1 inch this side, 1 inch this side. So please pay close attention. If you're taking out your dart for this fitted bustier, make sure your dart is equal. Like, don't take 1 inch on this center front side and take 1.5 on this other side. No, don't do it. Okay, just make sure your dart is equal. If you're taking 1.5, make sure you're taking 1.5 this other side. If you're taking half inch, make sure you take out half inch this other side. If you're taking 1, make sure it's 1 this other side. Just make sure your dart is equal. Okay, and this thing will help you to make that your bustier to stand very well. So after connecting it, I will bring my curve ruler to connect from the under bust to the bust point like this. I believe you understand what I'm doing. So after covering that part, I will also curve this other part like this. Okay, so this other curve is not looking very nice for me, so I'm trying to recurve it. All right, I'm okay with this. Okay, so we are going to cut on this, so I'm trying to shade it. So the next step, from the chest line, I'll go up by 1 inch. This is where I want my yoke to stop. Okay, so after marking that 1 inch, I will now divide my shoulder by 2. Whatever I have, I will divide it by 2 and mark it, then connect that point to my back to my bust point, as you can see. Okay, on that new line now, that 1 inch line now that I marked, so I will take out 0.75, this other side 0.75. This is for my chest line not to gape. This is for that area not to gape. And if you want to, like, you see how I'm connecting it. Okay, just make sure your curve flow through the first curve. I don't know if you understand. See how I place this my ruler. I make sure that the curving parts flow down to that first one that I curve out already. Okay, don't just curve it starting from the bust point. Just make sure that the curve entered back to the first one you covered already. This will make it to your cup to be firm. Okay, so just make sure you put your curve so that it will just flow like C. When you curve it, it will just be like C. Okay, so you see how this one is looking. I just believe you understand. If you don't understand, you can back forward the video so that you understand it very well. Okay, the next measurement now is to take my underbrush divided by 4. Then I will add my that 2 inches dart. I replace the 2 inches dart and 1.5 inches sewing allowance. I'm using 1.5 for my sewing allowance. You can reduce it. So I'll do the same thing on the waistline. Waist divided by 4. I will replace my 2 inches dart and sewing allowance 1.5. Then on the hip line, I will do the same thing. Hip divided by 4 plus 2 inches dart, and I'll add half an inch, 0.5 inch for ease. because I don't want the hip line to be tight. It's optional anyway. Then plus 1.5 inches sewing allowance. After that, I will connect with my ruler like this. Okay, if you haven't subscribed, if you haven't liked, please do so. All right, so let's continue. I'll curve it out. So on this bust line, remember I did not add my sewing allowance there, so I will also replace the darts there, so that by the time I will cut it out, I will not have a shortage. So I replace that dart on that chest line and also add my sewing allowance and connect. So the next step now is to check this my dart line here to know the one that is longer. So any one that is longer, I will reduce it. So this one is longer, I reduce it to make sure everything is equal before cutting out my pattern. So if you don't want to do it this way, you can as well close this dart. Just watch what I'm doing. You close it this way and use your pen to trace it out so that it will be equal. All right, so after doing that, on the chest line, I'll come down by 0.5 inch. This is where I want the yoke to stop. So on this center front line, I'll come down by 1 inch. This one is for my sweetheart neckline. Okay, you can as well go use your bust point depending how deep you want it to be, how you want your cleavage to show. So mine, I'm just coming down by 1 inch from the chest line, so I'm connect with my curve ruler like that, and then connect this other part like this. So I just want to straighten this line a little bit, then and use the curve ruler, connect it back. This is how I want the shape to look. Okay, I'm done connecting the lines. All right, so I'm trying to check if it is equal. Yes, it's equal. So make sure you check all these things before you cut. If not, if you did not check it and you cut out your pattern, your pattern will not relax and it will stress you. So the next step now is to take back this dart line to my shoulder point like this. The reason I'm doing this, if I'm going to use the yoke, so that the yoke will not gape. Okay, I've contoured the yoke so that if I cut it on my net, it will not go gape, it will just rhyme with follow my body this thing. Okay, the next step now is to come down by 2 inches for my bust dart. So the difference between my front shoulder to waist to my shoulder to waist, my back shoulder to waist is 2 inches. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. So it's 2 inches, so I will come down by 2 inches from the bust point and connect it back to my bust point too. I believe you understand all these things now, so just watch what I'm doing. You understand it. So the next step now is to close it. So before you close, you make sure you opened your dart. You must open one dart to close another dart. So that's the method. So you see how I opened the center dart there to close this side bust dart. So if you did not open any one, you won't be able to close this other side dart. So after opening it, I'll close this way and bring my masking tape and hold it down. Okay, so the next step now is to reshape the side. I'll use my ruler and reshape it back and cut out. So I've cut it out. Look at how the side is looking very smooth. Okay, so I will continue my cutting. So I'll cut the pattern out. So if you don't understand anyone, don't be in a hurry, just go back and watch it again. Okay, it's a very simple step-by-step tutorial. So the next step now, this one is optional if you want your hemline to look maybe asymmetric or anything. So on the side, just come down by 2.5. Then the center front, I use the length of this my pattern, which is about 5 inches. Okay, and blend it this way. This one is optional anyway. If you don't want it, you can skip it. All right, so and shape it like that. Then I will continue my cutting, and I've cut it out. So my yoke, I will tape the yoke back so that I will have one piece. I will hold it down with my masking tape. So after closing this, your taping this your yoke together, if your own is not equal, make sure you put paper under and blend it there so that it will look equal. But my own, everything comes out perfect because my pattern from the beginning is equal, everything. So for the back part, I use the front to trace out the back part. So what I'm doing is just to highlight the lines, and I finished highlighting it and I'm labeling it. I'm done labeling everything. So I will also highlight the bust point line. So this is the bust point line. On that waistline, I will take out my dart, which is half inch this side, half inch this side. I will do the same thing on the top length, which is my hip line too. I will now connect this dart this way with my straight ruler. Then from that waistline, I will connect it back to the bust point like this. So I just want to raise this dart by 1 inch from the bust point. So I'm raising it up by 1 inch. You can as well leave your own there, but I just want to raise it up by 1 inch. Alright, and reconnect the line back to that 1 inch. Okay, this is how I want my dart to look. So the next step now is to take out my shoulder slant by 1 inch from the shoulder line, come down by 1 inch, and then my neck width. Remember, I used 3 inches on the front pattern, so I will take out the 3 inches for this back pattern and connect my shoulder slant to my neck width. Then for the neck depth is 1 inch. Then I will connect with my curve ruler like this back to the neck width. Neck width is 3, neck depth is 1 inch. Okay, so on this for the armhole, I will divide what I have here is 8 divided by 2, that's 4. So before I connect it, I would like to take out my circumference divided by 4. Then I'm adding back my 1.5 inches for sewing allowance. I will do the same thing on the bust line. Bust divided by 4 plus 1.5 inch sewing allowance. Then I will connect my curve armhole, my armhole curve. Then the next thing I will take out my waist divided. I will mark my waist divided by 4. Waist is 38 divided by 4, 9.5. Then I will add my dart, 1 inch dart and 1.5 inches sewing allowance. Then on the hip line, I will divide my hip divided by 4 is 12.5, hip is 50 divided by 4, 12.5 plus half inch is allowance and 1 inch dart and 1.5 inches sewing allowance. Okay, that is optional, but I think you should do it so that the hip area will not be too tight like that. Okay, then I'll connect it this way. All right, the back is almost ready. Okay, so the back is ready anyway, so I just want to show you this one. Now I'm not going to be using it, so but I just want to show you in case if you want the maybe your back yoke to look you want to style it, you want to add anything like so. On this back line, just come down by half inch from the chest line there, come down by half inch and blend it back to the center back. Remember this pattern, this back pattern, there is no sewing zip allowance, so I didn't put zip allowance. So while cutting on your this to make sure you add your zip allowance. Okay, okay, after connecting that line, you can as well use straight ruler and do it. It mustn't be curved. Okay, after connecting the lines, so the next step now is to show you if you want a keyhole neckline, if you want your back to be a keyhole. So from the neck width, just come down by 1 inch and blend it back to that your that leg like this. But I'm not going to be using this. Okay, I won't be using this, and I will not be adding yoke. So the back for my own will just be plain with the material. It's only the front that will add yoke. Okay, you can also shape it this way. I'm just showing you in case if you want to do a keyhole, or if you want to do v-neck, if you want your back to have a v-neck. Okay, you can as well create v-neck or keyhole depending how you want your back to be. So for v-neck, you just connect it back to your neck width to that your chest line like this. All right, but I won't be doing any of this. Okay, I'm just showing you. You can as well skip it too. It depends on what you want. So our back pattern is ready. The next step is to cut it out. I will cut it. So if you haven't subscribed or you haven't liked, and if you like this video also, please, for you to encourage me, I just need your like, your share, your everything, just to support me so that I'll be dropping more videos like this. Okay, so I'm trying to check the front and the back shoulder if it is equal. I noticed that the front line shoulder is not well